Lesson 5.4 is on representing and graphing ratios. So how can you use tables and graphs to show equivalent ratios? We'll look at this on page 275. It says for every 4 adults at the beach one afternoon, there were 3 children. So how many children were at the beach if there were 8, 12, 16, or 20 adults at the beach? So we can make a table like we did in the last lesson. 4 adults, we've got 3 children. We're trying to figure out for 8, 12, 16, and 20 adults. So like we've done before, we can just figure out from our original numbers what we need to multiply those by in order to get these numbers. In other words, going from 4 to 8, what do we need to multiply, and so on. So this first one, we'd be just multiplying by 2. So 4 times 2 is 8, 3 times 2 is 6. Next column, we're multiplying our original numbers by 3. 4 times 3 is 12, 3 times 3 is 9. Next column, multiplied by 4 would give us a 12 here. And the next column, multiplying by 5, would give us a 15. So that fills out the chart for us. So another thing we can look at is graphing this ratio. So if you look at the graph, you can see number of adults is on our x-axis, number of children is on our y-axis. So 4 adults and 3 children, it's like we're graphing the point 4, 3. 4 adults, 3 children. So we go to 4 for the adults, 3 children, that'd be halfway between the 2 and the 4. And then we can do 8 adults, 6 children, 12 adults, 9 children. 9 would be in between the 8 and the 10. 16 and 12. And 20 and 15. Okay. What you might notice here as we graph these points is that these points all line up with each other, and that we could actually keep continuing this pattern if we keep this ratio. Pattern keeps going, we're going to stay in line with these points. So at the bottom it says if there were 25 children and 15 adults at the beach. Emery said there were 5 children for every 3 adults. Is he correct? Well, that just goes back to what we've talked about before. And really you could just reduce those. That reduces to 5 to 3, and so yes, he is correct. Example 1. Ellen is shopping for supplies at Jake's party store. Make a table to show how much Ellen would spend to buy 3, 6, 9, or 12 balloons. Then plot the pairs of values in a coordinate graph and use the graph to find the cost of 18 balloons. Alright, so technically we could do this without the graph. They are asking us to try to use the graph to make a prediction for our cost for 18 balloons. So you can see what the cost is here. Really the balloons is all we're looking at. So 3 for $2. So 3 balloons for $2. They made a table. So 3 balloons for $2. They're coming up with some other points because then we can graph this and see what our line's going to look like. So they just multiplied both of those by 2, gave them 6 and 4. Multiplied them by 3, gave them 9 and 6. Multiplied by 4, gave them 12 and 8. And you can see how they've graphed those points here. Okay, these are the points then. And then what they've done is they've drawn a line, they've extended the line, and then they're trying to look at the line to figure out for 18 balloons what it's going to cost. So here's our balloons. So if you just go to 18, go up to your line, and then go straight over from that, you can see that that would be $12. Okay? The one thing about doing this based off of your line, you need to draw a straight line. If your line is not straight, also if the number is in between, like let's say it was going to cost $12.50, $12.37, something like that. If it's not a nice even number, it's probably going to be hard to figure out the exact number from the graph. So I would say typically it's going to be easier for you just to work this out by hand. You know, say how do we get from 3 balloons to 18 balloons? Well, that'd be multiplying by 6. So 2 times 6 is $12. Okay, that's simpler and less chance of making a mistake as it is to base it off of this line that we've drawn. But again, if they're wanting us to do this based off of the line, then that's just what we'll have to do. For the try it, they're asking what are the coordinates of the point that represents the number of balloons you can buy for $6. By coordinates, they're meaning like an X and Y ordered pair. So for $6, if we go back to this, we could actually go back to our table either way, and we can see what the coordinates would be. So either way, we can see 9 balloons for $6. 9 is our balloons, is our X, and 6, the cost, is our Y. So 9, 6 would be the coordinates of the point that represents the number of balloons for $6. Example 2, Jack is making juice. He has 25 celery sticks. If Jack uses all 25 celery sticks, how many apples will he need to make the juice? So you can see 5 celery sticks for 2 apples looks pretty yummy. Couple ways of doing this. One way, what the book's doing is they're just, you know, let's add another 5 celery sticks and another 2 apples till we get there. Obviously we could get to this a little quicker. Going from 5 to 25 would be multiplying by 5, good. And then so if we multiply 2 times 5, that would give us 10. So we really don't have to go through so much work of what the book's doing, making their table and then making this graph and then saying, oh, it's 10 apples that we need. Okay, that's a lot more work than what's really needed in order to find the answer, but you know, from the graph we should be able to figure out that for 25 celery sticks we need 10 apples. If they gave us the graph without the table, that's what I would do, just look at the graph then. If the graph wasn't already there, I probably wouldn't mess with it unless they told me I had to graph it out.